Welcome everybody today to our very first webcast for 2021. I'm very excited to have with us once again Andrew Crawford, who many of you will know, who did a fabulous webinar for us about finances when we were in lockdown, and he was able to guide everybody through the maze of what they could and couldn't do, which was amazing. But here we are ready to kickstart a new year, and we've invited Andrew to talk with us, to talk to you, so that we can set ourselves up for success in 2021. So Andrew, welcome back.
Thank you for inviting me back. And I know, as I keep saying, this is not the most sexiest subject on the planet. So, it's kind of dry, and we try to make it amenable for the listeners so that it isn't boring,
Well, you never make anything boring, so I'm sure we're going to get through that. But I guess the first question is, it's been a really tough year for our industry and for many fitness professionals. So what is a great way for them to set themselves up for success in 2021 and plan for that future?
Well, as you know, this environmental thing came on everybody, by out of the blues, and so we couldn't plan. So one of the things I say going forward is to have a plan. Right, it might not be rigid, but at least you've got a plan in place. And one of the things I did in the past was plan the next 12 months. So each month there was something was being done, and you've got 4 weeks in order to complete it. So by the end of the 12 months, you've got output. Now, as you know, you cannot, because of the uncertainty, you'll get slippages. So you move something from month 1 to month 2, month 3. So it gives you that flexibility, basically. So the first thing to do is plan. The second thing to do, I always say, is to do like a family budget, because right now, some of our income is impacted. So are we going to survive the next 6 months? Are we going to survive the next 12 months? So if you could put in place a family budget, that's sort of what's your household costs, what's your household income, or no income, one of the two.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, and then you could put a budget. Then a budget, right? Budget is different from like a cash flow forecast. What cash are you going in? What's going to go out? What's the deficit? So it's really to just have a plan for the next 3 to 6 months to 1 year. That's what I'd say.
Okay, and so we know that January 31st is looming, and that is a significant date in the tax calendar. What is the significance of it? Can you give us some advice on that?
2 significances. Accountants, tax advisors, bookkeepers, they're rubbing their hands like this.
Somebody is there.
Yes, somebody. Because that day is the day when you push your last tax return, and anything else that comes after midnight on that night is late. So you can't do anything about it. So the 31st is where everybody knows that the individual self-assessment tax returns has to be in online and submitted. Being fellow fitness professionals, we do things very late, So the year end finishes at 5th of April, and you've got effectively 9 months in which to put your tax return in. They leave it to the last moment, after they've had a New Year's party, Boxing Day, Christmas Day. Oh, our tax return has to be in. Let's get it done. So that puts a whole lot of pressure on the bookkeepers, accountants, tax preparers, tax return preparers. So what I say to people is, soon after April, see if you can get your tax return in those first 6 months, so May, June, July, August, September, October, something like this, so that it doesn't all bulk up in the last month or the last 2 or 3 months for people who are doing tax returns. It's very stressful. Yeah,
I mean, that's probably not going to make much difference to this year. We're still going to be putting their tax accountant under a lot of pressure this year. But maybe that's something that they could put into their planning that you're suggesting that they do every month. So come June or July, maybe start to write down putting those pieces together so that when it comes to the end of the tax year, they're in a better position and it's not all rushed.
Yep.
So, okay, that makes a lot of sense, obviously, and
Mhm.
it allows you to enjoy your Christmas and New Year rather than working at a desk, no doubt. But you advise a lot of fitness professionals. I know a lot of our members actually do, come to you for advice. And when you are advising them, what are the common errors that you see, the way that fit pros maybe set up their business, or they look after their paperwork or don't look after their paperwork, their filing systems? What are common errors that, you might be able to give them a few nuggets to fix those errors quickly?
I like the way you said common errors, because everyone's an individual and everybody comes to you from a different angle.
Yeah.
Some people are good with writing, some people are good with spreadsheets, some good with online facilities. So you have to, or the accountant, bookkeeper, tax advisor has to be kind of flexible to the actual client that comes forward. So once you've got your books in, do not send a whole bag of receipts. We can't deal with that anymore. Give that to a bookkeeper who can sort that out for you, and then they'll pass it on to an accountant or somebody who does your tax return. So you've got a spreadsheet, put them on a spreadsheet. That will make it nice and easy. Now you can actually download your business stuff straight from the bank account. So send them that file, yeah? So make it kind of easy for somebody to look at your paperwork. As I said, our job, or your job, is to get people fit, healthy, but you need to get your figures fit and healthy as well, not just and your numbers fit and healthy, not just your figures. Yeah. So keep things neat, tidy, download it from the bank account directly. And as I said, they've got a file they call a CSV file, comma separated value, what that stands for, or an Excel file, and then send it off to the accountant or bookkeeper or tax guy.
Okay. Okay. I mean, all this is great at the beginning of the year, because people can really start to get themselves organised, so that as they roll this through and it just becomes part of their business model. This time next year, hopefully everyone will be in a much better position. So how does, under the current climate, which we know is uncertain, but how does a Fit Pro sort of future-proof their business? What advice can you give them about any unforeseen changes that may have happened, and how they survive?
Well, that is a good question, because right now we are living in the same times as you're actually describing there. So I would say, given the circumstances we got at present, you have to have a business which will operate without you. And that is basically having an online business as well as if you have a face-to-face. I'm sorry, with all the guys whose gyms have closed, whose classes have closed, whose halls have closed, they have to come up with a different, something different. So having a business for future-proofing, having a business which will run without you. And what are those types of businesses? Well, those are going to be like certain like prescription businesses, membership business, something continuity businesses, something which your clients will pay, which you've already done the hard work, you've already filmed it, yeah, and they just log on and can have you, because they want to experience you without you being there, yeah. So you could be doing another class while you're having your online or your membership stuff being done here. So for future proofing, and we will talk about income, aren't we, really? I mean, how are we going to survive without the stream of money flowing through? So they call it passive income, isn't it? Passive income. Income that you've earned or you can earn without you being there. Yeah, so that is a model which you'll have to plug in, not have to, but for future-proofing purposes, I would recommend you having a new model plugged into your existing model, yeah? Whether online, definitely membership, offering different products and services and stuff like that, yeah? So not just your core face-to-face, one-to-one, whatever. Have something else. They've now got stuff where you can brand equipment to your own, to your logo, to your business name or whatever. Introduce that to your clients. And being that it's online, you are now in competition with somebody across the world. Yeah, so now your channel of offerings is open worldwide, globally, and with that thing called Brexit on just a couple of weeks' time, you know, who knows what that new what stuff that will bring. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly by being online, it opens up the complete market, but at the same time, it opens up all the competition as well. But I mean, there are so many opportunities, and there's so many offerings for Fit Pros to be able to put themselves online. I mean, there's a lot of platforms out there where they can sign up to and be able to communicate with their community without having to necessarily spend a lot of money in making something bespoke. So it's there. They just might need to do their homework, because offering, I'm presuming what you're also suggesting is by being able to offer a nutrition track, or it's just other pieces to their business that just makes them more rounded, is going to give them more opportunity. Yeah,
Yeah.
And they want to be making money when they sleep. That's
don't we all?
Yeah, no, exactly.
While I'm swimming.
yeah. One day.
Yeah. So again, model the big boys, model Fit Pro. Fit Pro, you got if you want to write, they can write magazines. I mean, there's subscription model for magazines. Do you want to write? It's up to you whether or not, or you can get a ghostwriter to write your stuff for you. Yeah. Once you pay the ghostwriter, and they pass over the license, you can then have a magazine, what people, bodybuilding, nutrition, a meal planner, all that kind of stuff. You know, there's plenty of things out there that you can add on, to your existing business.
Service. So I guess the ultimate question then is, how does everybody move forward right now? What is that magic question? How do they do it? What should they be thinking about from your perspective?
The grand wizard has not got all the answer. What is, because we're all experienced, we're all on the same journey, and we're all experiencing something different. Yeah. Everybody, my business, your business, everybody's business who is listening to this, same journey, different experience. So I would say you have to be flexible, you have to be malleable, same kind of difference, and adaptable, because of these changes, you need a combination of all those three. And how do you do that? Well, number one, you could upskill. Yeah. So basically, before you upskill, you do a SWOT analysis on yourself. So everybody knows what a SWOT analysis is what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are the opportunities, and what are your threats. Once you self-evaluate and you find out what the results are, then you could work on yourself. Is where the skills come in. Right now, some people use the lockdown so I didn't even want to mention that word. They use the time available to them, the free time, to train, to upskill, and to launch or get the new ideas on paper and concepted and launched. So they use that time to do that. So now they've got broader skills that they could offer the market. Yeah. And or, I think I've said it before in this lecture question, the market has changed. So therefore, you, flexible, malleable, adaptable, you change for the market. There's going to be people who have been knocked down, who have suffered from stress, from anxiety, and who need coaching and counseling. This is where you, as a teacher, a Fit Pro, could offer your skills as an instructor, but this time you call yourself, counseling and coaching. Yeah. So there's that opportunity there for you to dive into something more than you're currently offering.
Yeah.
You can, as I said, the market has changed, so you must or have to change to it. Bringing forward, again, another, I mentioned it before, a new product, a new service. And I think it's Alibaba. You can order these goods, get it rebranded to your brand. Yeah, there's so much opportunities there which you have to sit back and say, right, what's the gap? Well, where can I fit in? What are the skills that I can do? There's people who are artists who can then bring that to the table. You don't necessarily have to stick to the fitness market. Yeah, you can now offload or open your talent box. What are you talented with? I mean, I know Fit Pro, who's also an accountant. She's a dancer, she's a choreographer, she's an artist, and she does fashion. And I'm going to mention her name right now. I'm going to mention it. Helen Martin. Check her out. She's a phenomenal woman, and she's in the fitness industry. Again, that's an example, and that's a blueprint, because she's adapted and changed. Yeah. So all of us, or all of you might have a skill which we don't know, with your hands, with your mind. So this is the time to do not hold your talents back. Push them forward. They are needed. Somebody's out there needs it now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about reinvent yourself at the moment, isn't it? And as you say, find your strengths. But I mean, all the things that you refer to, there are certainly new markets out there. The markets have always been there. We've just never tapped into them. But we need to be trained and qualified to be able to service those markets. And I think, you know, now is a good time for people to actually spread their wings a little and, you know, as you say, reinvent themselves.
Well, that's where you come as well. We're offering these training courses to people at a good price. At a good price.
Yeah. Andrew, thank you again. As always, you know, words of wisdom. As we said, you know, great for people to get started. Maybe just to sit down and think about what they need to do for the year ahead. Obviously, just, you know, with deadlines like the end of January looming, getting themselves organised. Maybe too late for this year, but definitely be in a better position for next year. And hopefully we're all in a better position this time next year. We can be talking about much more joyful things. But great advice, as always. You know, thank you for your time. And we look forward to talking to you again.
Okay, one more thing just before I go. Set your compass, dial in your direction, and you are the captain of your ship. So know where you're going, know your focus. Yeah, you are responsible to you, you're accountable to you and your family and your children around you and everybody that keeps in contact with you.
Yeah, that's great advice. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again.